Hi everyone, good morning. This is Amanda Wright. I'm one of the moderators and administrators of the Healthy Life Project page. We're super excited to offer you this week some great information on building better bones in menopause. We know this is a concern of a lot of us. We don't want to go into the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years and suffer a fracture and then have disability from that. So I know talking to a lot of you, we want to stay on top of this for sure, making sure our bones are strong for the years to come. So we want to just offer a few tips this week. Natalie and I will go back and forth on offering tips on the ways that you can protect your bones now to keep them strong for when the years to come. So I just want to start off, I just want to share my personal story around bone health. I have two grandmothers who are now passed that both had hip fractures. And I do remember as a kid, just how hard that was, visiting them in the hospital and seeing how hard it was for them to move. And then their ability to take care of themselves definitely declined after those hip fractures. And so that is a very common story that happens with women. I did look up some statistics. 40% of women will experience a fracture over the course of their life. If you have a hip fracture in women, a third will die within a year. Isn't that crazy? So this is a really great reason to help build our bones stronger now. And then 1 in 10 women do have osteoporosis, which is that official, where our bones are specifically less dense, and it's an official diagnosis. So this is something to keep an eye on for sure. So when my grandmothers had their hip fractures, I think they were in their 80s, and their quality of life declined dramatically. And then working in hospitals and being part of I would see a lot of people after hip fractures and hip replacements who had fallen. And now that I look back on it, I realize a lot of them were women. And the reason for this is not necessarily because women are living longer. It's because we are lacking estrogen. And estrogen is super protective of our bone health and our bone strength. And so one of the best resources that I have found to learn about this is this book, Estrogen Matters. And there's a whole chapter dedicated to bones and bone health. It's called Breaking Bad. And so I was just going to share a little bit from this book with you today, really just to emphasize the importance of replacing our estrogen, if we can, in perimenopause and menopause to really help with our bone health, because it's one of the best things that we can do. So it was in the 1940s actually that a doctor, I think his name was Fuller Albright maybe, Fuller Albright in the 1940s, he was the first one to advocate for estrogen treatment to prevent osteoporosis. So thank you, Dr. Albright. He was an honored endocrinologist who specialized in bone metabolism. So that's really when they discovered that estrogen was so protective of our bone health. One of the big things that I learned in this chapter was that although calcium is important for bone growth and for bone formation in our childhood and in our teens and early 20s, it really doesn't do that much in menopause and perimenopause and beyond to really strengthen our bones. In fact, this is a sentence I underlined, that once bones are formed, additional calcium neither prevents nor treats bone loss. So I think we've been sold a story maybe that isn't so true. We've heard a lot about just take your calcium, right? Take your calcium, take your calcium. And obviously we need calcium in our body, but it's not doing what we think it's doing as far as protecting our bones. And so Dr. Blooming, who wrote this book, is really lays out the case that estrogen is that thing that we need for building our own bone health. So lots of great research in this book around the benefits of estrogen and progesterone on our bones. Really what he's saying is that the protective effect only lasts as long as we take our estrogen and progesterone. So if you only take it for 5 years, you have that protection for 5 years, but it really drops off quickly after that. So he's really advocating taking estrogen as long as you can, as long as the benefits outweigh the risk. Keep estrogen in your body for stronger bones. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I really would encourage you to either do some Googling, searching on your own about estrogen and the benefits of estrogen and bone health. It's really one of the reasons that I started taking HRT, hormone replacement therapy, just a couple months ago, is I wanted to have that protection for my bones, certainly as well as all the other benefits of taking estrogen. But I really, would encourage you to add this into your tools in your toolbox. Estrogen is part of your bone building kit. Obviously, talk to your own medical professional about your risks and benefits. But there's lots of delivery methods for estrogen now. There's gels and creams and patches and pellets. So if you are considering hormone replacement therapy, this is another really great reason to get estrogen back on board in your body, is to protect your bones. All right, so stay tuned for the rest of the week on more bone health information. Let us know what questions you have. And as always, we thank you for being in the group and participating. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.